Wing Kings. Listen, think, act, repeat.
Welcome to the Left Wing King podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the Ken Paxton impeachment acquittal, right-wing conspiracy theories, and the United Auto Workers strike. I want to thank all of our listeners out there on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Google, all of that. I also want to thank everybody joining us on this live stream on Facebook and on YouTube. Please feel free to post. When you post a comment, I will go ahead and try to get it on screen and maybe even have a little discussion about it during the podcast. I am your head moderator in charge, your HMIC Malik, and I'm joined today by my queen, Walanda.
What up?
And my main man, Ace.
What it do?
All right, let's get it cracking. Texas AG Ken Paxton was impeached by the Texas House of Representatives on charges of abuse of office and bribery. Now, the charges stem from allegations that your boy used his position as Attorney General to benefit himself and all of his little political friends. Now, the Texas Senate acquitted him of these charges. So he's good to go, clean and free, ready to go. Ace, what's going on with this shit, man?
16 articles of impeachment. They didn't get this man on one of them. We all know
Not one.
He did it. You know what I'm saying?
He did something. He did one.
You know, it's funny it's funny in the Trump era, like they got this situation where like somebody get impeached, and guess what? He was impeached by he was impeached by the Republicans. This is a supermajority in Texas. It means we're Republican. You know what I'm saying? The Democrats, if they wanted to impeach him, couldn't impeach him, you know. So the House Republicans impeached him. The House Senate let him go, but not only did they let him go, they didn't do anything, period, on him. You know what I'm saying? He get caught for nothing. So he already went on Tucker Carlson's show and said he's getting revenge.
Oh.
It's gonna be some payback. That's American politics now, man. I mean, it's just like, one, we're throwing impeachment around like it ain't nothing, but two, then they go back and say, oh, well, you know, it's gonna be payback for trying to impeach me. But end of the day, man, he did all of that stuff. I mean, he's not no angel. You know, this was no witch hunt, like they like to say. You know, he was using his power and abusing it. You know, he's got some sex scandals thrown in there with his wife standing right next to him. You know what I'm saying? And she's in the Senate, the Texas Senate, and can't vote.
What was her vote? Oh, she couldn't vote?
She couldn't vote. She couldn't vote.
I wish she could have, boy. I would have loved to see what she would have voted.
Hey, no, she voted. We just didn't see it. She got in that ass, probably. Hey, he got off, but he didn't get off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he got off with somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, so just a whole big mess. But yeah, just the Republicans, you know, here in Texas, like I said, you know how messed up you got to be Republican, and for the Republicans to come after you in Texas, like, that's serious. Like, you had to do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's nuts.
Well, 70% of them voted to impeach him in the House. And then you have on the side of when they voted on your convictions, it was always pretty much one Republican or two Republicans that voted with the Democrats, because you needed 21 votes in order to impeach. So every single article, and I'll go through a few, but most 90% of them, two of the Republicans voted against, and everybody else just got in line and acquitted him. So, like you said, disregard of official duty. He had a article on the fact that he hired his mistress. That was the whole sexual misconduct. So he hired his mistress. So that's misusing you're laughing. I'm serious. He misused his
he had to
official
get
power.
that booty close to the job.
That nigga
You know?
hired his mistress.
Yeah, so
He hired
lunch
her.
breaks was great.
Yeah.
You know how brave you got to be to hire your damn mistress and your
hired
wife
her.
work in the building?
Wow.
So that's one of the articles. He misused his official power. He was helping his friend. What was his name?
That nigga
Nate Paul.
Give a fuck. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's bad. I mean, he violated the laws regarding how outside attorneys should be appointed, because basically he was helping his friend get as far as lawyers and stuff to help him. Lawyered him up. That was the guy, Nate Paul. Article 8, concealing his wrongful acts and connected with his whistleblowers' complaints. That's the biggest one. So a whistleblower came, a couple of whistleblowers. And so basically you said, okay, you come for me, I'm going to come for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's again,
nuts.
concealing wrongful acts. engaged in bribery when Paul provided extensive renovations to Paxton's home. So he had the guy fix his home, and in exchange, he was like, well, I'll help you with your legal troubles. False
Wow.
statements and official records.
I didn't know that was illegal though. Man.
Yeah, well, that's Article 10. That's engaging
That
in
seems
bribery.
like regular business right
Yeah,
there.
Yeah,
that's
I mean-
bribery. Sorry, you can't bribe.
I do that all the time.
It's
Yeah,
a-
do this for a hamburger.
What? Well,
I mean, exchange
not when you.
services.
He's the
Hey,
Attorney General
hey.
of Texas.
Yeah, I
You
don't,
can't do
I don't
that.
hire my mistress though. You know what I'm saying?
No, not that.
And put in the building with my wife. You know what I'm saying?
The Attorney General has to have some type of integrity. Come on, you can't.
You
be
know how
accepting
nervous he had to be
bribes.
going like to the coffee machine with his mistress in there, and then the wife like anybody at any time could walk up on his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
No, he has
Ken Paxton.
conspiracy of attempted conspiracy. I don't understand what that means.
Conspiracy for
attempted conspiracy.
We thought you was gonna conspire.
Yeah. So acted with others to conspire, of attempt to conspire to commit the crimes described in the other articles. That's Article 16. 17, misappropriation of public resources. Article 18, dereliction of duty. Article 19, unfitness for office. Article 20, abuse of public trust. So it just goes on and
Yeah,
on
they
and
didn't
on
like him.
and
Somebody
on.
just didn't like him at all. They
Yeah.
was just coming for him, man. You know, but he was doing some crazy stuff too.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
He has a lot of articles.
like they said, conspiracy for attempted conspiracy.
Yes,
Like, we think you're gonna do a conspiracy. So,
we're gonna.
like, I don't know.
You thought about it.
All I know, like I said once again, in the super majority, which is Texas Congress, they came after him, man. They, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like you really had to piss somebody off for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he got off on it. So, you know what I'm saying? Texas politics is about to be a big old mess.
Yeah. Well,
when it comes to that.
Paxton, he only attended 2 of the trials. It was a 2-week trial, and he only attended 2 days. So he knew. He was like, "Oh, okay. So this is what we're doing."
Well, he
All
knew the
right.
Senate was
He
never
didn't even
gonna do
go
anything. Yeah.
to witness his own exoneration. I mean, that's pretty
Cocky.
prideful. Very
Pretty
cocky.
cocky,
Like,
yeah.
what we doing here? He went to 2 days, didn't come after that, and he wasn't even there. His wife was in the. So on the one Article 8, it says concealing his wrongful acts and connected with the whistleblower complaints. Convicted 1 Republican, 7 Democrats, but then acquitted 17 Republicans and 5 Democrats. So I will say at least the Democrats were like, okay, on certain articles, nah, we're just trying to get them,
Yeah.
But Republicans, they stayed steadfast the whole time. No, we're just going to acquit. And that leads you to believe there might be some type of, bribery or something going on with lobbying the senators, because they didn't break. Only 2 Republicans did. And I believe they're not running for office. So again, if you come back up, they
And he
don't,
coming
they're
for
scared.
you.
Yeah. He's like, I don't care if you come for me. I'm not going to run again anyway. So goodbye. But the rest of them, they steadfast on acquitting. So regardless of the charges.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what kind of corruption we got in the government right now, what we got going on. I think Ken Paxton kind of hit the home because that's Texas politics. I mean, that's where we're at. You know what I'm saying? So, and even though if you don't know who he is, you seen the name on the boards driving down the street, to vote for him. So yeah, that's just crazy and nuts. But yeah, just that's Texas Republicans. But if we want to jump into it, corruption goes all the way around. I mean, the Democrats don't get off.
Oh no, not at all.
I mean, we got things going on with Senator Menendez out of New Jersey right now. They're straight getting bribed. Bribery, Egypt, gold bars. Look like a bad rap video. You know what I'm saying?
When it look like a prison photo,
like, niggas taking pictures with gold bars. Like what are you doing, dog?
What is happening?
Like,
I just heard about this Menendez thing, I think yesterday, man.
Yeah, like, you know how rich you got to be to bribe somebody with a damn gold bar? Like, money represents gold. Now you just giving people straight gold like that?
Right.
Jesus. And $500,000. Got his wife all tied up into it, man. I mean, this corruption is crazy.
Right.
That's going on. So I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, it comes from both sides. I mean, nobody can point the finger as a party and say, hey man, y'all are corrupt. I mean, and like you said, if we start digging, and I think that's the fear of all these politicians. Everybody's got dirt somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But if your slip is showing, you'll get caught up. You're gonna end up in court. You know what I'm saying? But and everybody ain't got a super majority like Texas where you just doing straight crime.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a good friend of ours said on Facebook, Ken Paxton up here running things like Death Row Records. You know what I'm saying? He's looking like Suge Knight up here. We know you did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't want your AG all up in your video,
all up in your bills.
Come to the Texas State Senate. You know what I mean?
Basically, I mean, you felt that.
Hey.
Oh, just nearly 90% of all corruption cases investigated, because now they're investigated by the Texas Rangers. And 90% aren't prosecuted. So over 90%. So there's corruption on corruption on corruption. But a lot of times you're not going to hear about it. So you're only hearing about the big prosecuting cases. So it's happening.
Yeah. And Paxton is still under federal investigation right now for securities fraud. Right. So outside of the Texas, impeachment thing, he also is under investigation by the Texas State Bar for professional misconduct. So he ain't out the water yet, but I mean, 16 counts and he got through those. I mean, to both of your points, I'm like, is this corruption just seems to be something that's, is it like just accepted now? Is it like we're not surprised by it anymore? We know it's happening, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with politics now is, and it's partially leading into our next topic. I think the distrust comes from, there is corruption. And I think that a lot of politics, as good as you think they are corrupted one way or the other. Even the guy that, Menendez is in Egypt or whatever. I'm not surprised that because basically he's using his being a U.S. senator to give Egypt favors, and they breaking them off with gold bars and stuff like that. I mean, and I guarantee you, if you probably look at every senator or something like that, there's some kind of arrangement like that that's going on. You know what I mean? And that's why people are fed up with Washington, because you can't get nothing done.
Right.
So with that being said, they come up with crazy alternatives, trying to change things over. But that's because like dudes are getting up there, and when they're voting as congressmen, they're voting with their paycheck and not with their conscience and doing anything like that. Or who's going to take care of them?
Right.
And that's where the corruption leads. So nothing surprising to us. It's just crazy what people are doing and think they're going to get away with.
Right.
Like, you got to really be cocky. And I know I said this about 100 times. To hire your mistress and your wife is a congressperson. Like,
he hired
you just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's nuts.
Right.
So, and all the other kind of things that he's doing, like, you ain't surprised anything, but like, wow, that's as corrupt as people are really being, is they just don't give a damn no more. They just do anything.
Yeah. And we got presidents out there who are being accused of things, and people are just like, so what? Like, I mean,
Accepted.
yeah, it's accepted. Like Trump, even with Biden, like, I mean, I don't think Biden did anything wrong, and I think we're all at this table are in agreement with that. We don't think he did anything wrong because there's no proof of that. Hunter Biden did some stuff, which leads people to believe that Biden might have been involved. You know,
if you dig enough, we're
but
gonna
if
find
he did,
something.
right?
Yeah.
Will there be people out there saying, so what? Like Peter asked a question. He said, so is there a special prison for ex-presidents and current families? And he's serious. He wants to know because, you know, he's from the UK. He said, correct me if I'm wrong, but you got 2 consecutive presidents with direct or indirect law issues right now. You got Trump and you got Biden. Like,
there isn't right now, but that's what I said. You can amend constitutions. There's no legal ramifications, right, for him. Like, he can still run as a president, even being a convicted felon. So those are changes we have to make in the U.S. But I don't think that we ever thought we would be here. You know, you would think integrity. You know, when you think of the president, it's like who becomes the president? You think of some type of moral compass. But what we learned is moral compass is like diminishing right now in the area that we are when it comes to the government. Now, I will shout out to Trump. It has, with him running and him being the president, I think more people are attuned to seeing what's going on with the government. You know what I'm saying? So the only shout out I can give him is that the fact that, you know, people are attentive now, and I'm glad they're watching, they're seeing, they're reading. You know what I'm saying? So that's one good thing that Trump did for us, is bring some type of insight on what's really happening in Washington.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't think we were going to have to amend the Constitution to say, hey, you know, the president shouldn't have to go to jail. We just never do. The president would be there. Like, you know, like the president's up for charges. Like, you know, who thought that was going to ever happen? You know,
a prison for presidents.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know,
like, what is this? Gotham City, nigga? Like, what?
I don't need that.
Yeah, like, what the hell? You know, we got to lock him up in a special prison and all that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but it's just the you know, corruption has just been so much part of politics now. You said we're unscathed by it. It's like,
we don't care. Like Biden just recently, there was an American prisoner in Iran, and they released him, and we negotiated with Iran. We're not supposed to be negotiated with terrorists or countries that are in bad, and we actually unfroze nations. I don't know how much money it was, but we unfroze a lot of money.
I think it was $6 billion.
Yeah, $6 billion. Whoa, that's crazy. If $6 billion we unfroze so they can get their $6 billion they gave us a dude. And people are once again saying, okay, like, is that, it may not be corruption, but is that the right thing to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, should we be doing that? Because there have been plenty of people who we did not negotiate with in the past, and they just got free, like some of the Russian prisoners that they had over there. We told them no when they was like, give us so-and-so and give us so-and-so. But as soon as they got Brittany Griner, they was like, okay, we'll give you like this murdering guy who we got over here. You can have him and give us back Brittany Griner. So kind of like they make decisions on, like, sometimes it's wrong to deal with terrorists in bad countries. And then it's like, we'll deal with them. Like, it's a double-edged sword. I don't think that they are consistent in their behavior, which leads to people accepting the corruption because they're like, I don't know what's right or wrong. Like, is this acceptable or not?
Yeah, I mean, and that prisoner exchange stuff is crazy. Yeah, they unfroze the money that already belonged to Iran, you know, for them to do that, to get those people. And I don't know, man. It's I mean, you know, I'm kind of it's kind of bittersweet. Because, you know, and believe it or not, Iran, Russia, China, those people are enemies. Right. Like, that's why I don't understand a lot of times when people are playing around with them. Like, when you're dealing with those people, you're dealing with people who just really want to kill Americans.
Yeah,
that's basically what
they want us to fail.
Yeah, like, you know, they're willing to kill us. You know, so. But on the other hand, you kind of, you know, you got these people that are locked up over there and prisoners. But you don't want them see them sit over there all the time too. So I don't know all the intricacies that happen on doing that, but you want to see them come home, but you don't want to give Iran everything that they need to do that, and Russia also. Russia just be grabbing people for the hell of it.
Yep.
And then the Brittany Griner thing, I think she came to light because just she was famous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So A lot of these guys we grab, we don't know who they are, and we never gonna know who they are. I mean, we'll know their
Mhm.
name a little bit if we look it up on Google. But
Right.
Brittany Griner, everybody kind of, even though she wasn't, I ain't gonna say she's like Michael Jordan, but she was famous enough
Oh,
to where,
WNBA. Right. Right.
yeah, to where it brought attention to it. So that attention factor,
Mhm.
we know was a determinant on doing that.
Oh, definitely.
But these other guys are like reporters, and
Yeah.
maybe with the CIA, I don't know. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But whatever the case may be, they're over there, and we have to figure out a way to negotiate and get them back. But like I said, I don't know if giving Iran $6 billion is good. The dude, the damn president, straight up, I'm gonna spend the money what I want to spend it on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go buy a nuclear bomb right now with it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't know. So, and unfortunately, you don't find those kind of things out till the end.
Yep.
We in a damn war with them somewhere. So
Yep.
Exactly.
So I guess I'm just going to ask straight up. So why do we accept corruption in politics? And why do politicians accept it? Because I think, and I'm going to answer first, if you don't mind. I think that the politicians accept it because it's lucrative. They get money.
It's the bag.
It's the bag. It's just the bag, and they're willing to. They already got lobbyists. They got ways they could get money legally, but for some reason, the rich get richer because they're willing to take risk, and some of those risks is just corruption.
Yeah.
Right.
And we talked about it. We're talking about politicians just being too old to run, still in office. Well, why didn't they? Why don't they leave? It's the bag. You know what I'm saying? They still getting the money. Like Feinstein, she can't even make it the Senate. You know what I'm saying? Like her office is straight empty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but she's still there, still holding on office to the last thing. Cause what? There's still some power or still probably some money rolling in some way or the other that she's not willing to give up. You know? Let's just be real. And then I think that leads into corruption. I just think some people are just over the top with it. And I think like this case with Ken Paxton, he's just over the top with corruption. Like you just gonna be in our face with it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think if you, like I said, if you probably dig deep and start looking at people's records, you find all kinds of stuff that we don't.
Money.
Yeah.
That's it. And Ken Paxton, when he came back and he was like, I'm coming for you. Like basically like so thugged out. Like, okay, so there's gonna be political payback. I'm gonna get rid of who is his name? Phelan? The guy who started it anyways. He said, I'm calling for your resignation now. Oh, you want to come for me, so I'm gonna come for you. I'm like, wow, that's what we do. And so again, it's just funny to me because I was like, you have all these articles here that talk about this very thing that supposedly you're not doing, but you're doing it right now. You say, I'm coming back to do it. I'm coming back to do
that's why we're
the
trying to
very
get rid
thing
of you.
that you said you didn't do.
Because you leaning on people.
Right.
I'm trying to get
You're
rid
leaning
of
on people.
Now
That's
you gonna do it
exactly
again?
the whole bully. That is part of the articles. But anyway,
Well, they just gave him carte blanche to do it.
Exactly.
So why not start now?
Why? Yeah. So it's about money. Now, as far as we as the people, I think that people don't understand. I think they see the corruption, but they don't know what to do. So, okay, so we know this is corrupt. I know this is wrong. What happened here was wrong. So what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
We as the people, how am I empowered to do anything?
Vote.
Only thing
all we keep saying is
I
vote.
keep going back to the same thing.
So
look
often.
and see who your representatives are. You can go back and research how each of these Republican senators, as well as your Democrats, voted. But do people go and do that? Did they go look at people's records and see, oh, this you said one thing, but look how your voting record said, and then I go into the booth and I keep pressing the same button for the same person over name recognition.
Yeah.
That's our problem, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we just don't do our due diligence. So I don't think it's that we accept the corruption. I think some people are unaware of what to do, or they choose not to. It's one of the two. Either we just get comfortable and like, what does that mean for me? Or they really just don't understand how politics work.
Yeah.
So I keep saying, vote. I mean, that's what you do. You research your candidate and you vote.
Yeah, and then and stop just I'm gonna vote for this guy because they on the same damn team.
Right, because we wear the same jersey. This is not a football team, guys.
Republicans and Democrats, and they're playing well, Democrats is this and Republicans. Those are political parties.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, end of the day, it's how you voting and what you're doing. And I always tell people, make it simple. How are they changing your life and making it better?
Exactly.
Ken Paxton ain't doing nothing for your life other than getting fat and rich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then got enough nerve to say, I'm coming for people.
Yeah.
After that's why we got you in here in the first
First
place,
time.
because you be coming for people with your political position.
Yeah. And guess
know?
who pays for these cases? You know,
We
like all
do.
this, the taxpayer. This is everybody don't pay taxes, but I'm gonna say this is some of my money, and I'm coming. That's why I educate myself about this
Every time you
topics.
go buy something in
I'm
Texas,
paying.
you're paying state taxes.
You're paying. You are
talking about-
paying for this.
That's $6. Why is it $6.75? That's Texas
Right.
state taxes right there. That's
Your
what you
good
pay. We
attorney
don't have
general.
an income statement. We got taxes on
Taxes,
everything
right,
else.
right.
Yeah.
Your good old attorney general, you know. So you are impacted. So you got to
And
get
he's
out there
coming.
and vote.
He's coming for you.
Right.
If you disagree with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think another reason why people allow or don't deal with, like you said, the corruption, or they don't know what to do, is because there's so many freaking conspiracies out there that they don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
So they may think somebody's corrupt, like we may think Trump is corrupt, but they like, no, he's not. He's a hero because of all of these conspiracy theories. Now, the conspiracy theories that I have seen are mostly on the far right, and these conspiracy theories are often based in fear, hatred, prejudice, or just, I'm always right. Now they can be used to justify violence, extremism, and even domestic terrorism, like January 6th. A lot of conspiracy theories were used for that, or Pizzagate, things like that.
Yeah.
So now there was a recent conspiracy around former Marine and former Oath Keeper Ray Epps. So he supposedly flipped and became a government agent or witness for the FBI. Even though Epps says, I ain't done nothing. As a matter of fact, he just got charged with a misdemeanor, I think, a few days ago for something with January 6th. So he's denied it several times, but they still going all in on him like, hey, dude is like a flipper or whatever. And, this big old conspiracy theory. This is one of many. So, Ace, what the hell is going on with all these conspiracy theories?
Well, I mean, I think part of them are like politically motivated. I think that people know now that as long as they can create misinformation, they can dilute the truth. It's kind of like the Ray Epps thing. Okay, if you just sit back and use common sense. All right, so let me think. The government went as far as to have a guy and implant him with y'all's group to motivate y'all to go in and break into the damn Senate. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like they just to get you guys to go in there and commit a crime. They just hired this guy out of nowhere, and that y'all thinks that he's a flipper for what? January 6th? Some bullshit?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the government's investing in that. Like, we know some bullshit's going on, so let's implant somebody in some bullshit to encourage them to do bullshit. Like, that don't make no sense.
We don't need them in there.
They're already doing bullshit. Like, what was the purpose of the government flipping this guy?
We need one more guy
to go help y'all break in. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all already said it. For the last 2 years, y'all was gonna do it. Y'all was already on the dark web talking about it, organizing it, and the whole now. But all of a sudden, they implanted this one guy that stood out there and motivated y'all to go in.
He's gonna turn the tide.
He got smaller charges. You know why he got smaller charges? Because he didn't take his stupid ass in the building. That's why. That's why he didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all listen to him, he's stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Like, that's what I'm saying. So I don't.
Right.
That's most of the time when you get conspiracy theories, it's just about slowing down and making common sense out of it. Pizzagate. The Democrats are molesting children and doing all this in this pizza store and all that.
The basement.
I mean, they were basing that on that, and they were going in there and they molesting kids and got a ring, and it's all the, it's Hillary Clinton and all the damn Democrats. Okay, they go to the damn pizza place. It ain't nothing but a goddamn basement. You know what I'm saying? This dude going there with a gun trying to shoot people. Like, use common sense, people. Like, there's nothing like that going on to where it's just crazy. And some of these conspiracy theories are outlandish, so.
Hey, your girl Marjorie Taylor Greene in the space lasers.
Hell yeah.
She talk about space lasers caused the wildfires in California. Space lasers, dog.
It's people that voted for her with a straight goddamn face.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure her parents are cousins.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, she ain't relate to many damn people. It's people like that. Like, nah, it's not. It's just like crazy stuff going on, and people. and people, we all know about QAnon, but there's this whole thing. But once again, it's just a campaign for misinformation.
Mhm.
And this just got carried away, man. And it's people that truly wholeheartedly believe this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're saying, we got people that we work with, we talk to on a daily basis, and they live by this stuff. And they're always throwing you some website out of nowhere that ain't credible. Like
www,
hey,
yeah,
no,
democratsordemons.com. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's credible.
yeah, www.jankypoliticians.com. Like, no, in the name it says it's janky. Like,
yeah, like
I'm not. That's not credible, bro.
they don't know.
Oh,
what
but
it means.
CNN, man. That's not good, man. You should.
No,
They,
you shouldn't read
okay, so CNN ain't good, which is a accredited
it.
news,
News source. Yes.
but janky politicians is where you getting your stuff from,
Okay.
dude. They got they got Trump in a McDonald's wig on this damn website. I'm not believing this, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then all these conspiracies come up, and it's just I think it's just for some people up top that really understand politics and are evil said, hey, you know what? As long as I can push misinformation, then I can manipulate some people to vote the way I need them to vote and give them the power. I mean, that's just basically what it is. And I'll just keep pushing these conspiracy theories. Alex Jones made a whole career off of that.
I did to him.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and they do that, and these people believe, and then the fight now is not about the issue, it's about the truth now. It's about the disbelief.
Mhm.
Like common sense, like I'm talking to you. Like, man, like there's no space lasers. What are you talking about? They causing wildfires. That don't even make no sense. Who would do that? Who's pushing the button and saying, I want a wildfire here and I want a wildfire there? Once again, what's this, Gotham City? The Penguin is up there?
Education is important.
Hey, I
We need a
don't understand.
superhero. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Education is important.
what I'm saying. Hey, we need the Avengers. Like, what the fuck? Who's these people with this power? Like, I just be having some stuff, crazy stuff that you'll be like, really, and be talking to you with a straight face. Like,
Mhm.
you know, I had a coworker, I ain't gonna say no name. They were talking to me one time and they said something crazy, and I was like, oh, I forgot they was crazy. You know, right there. I was like, we was having a perfect conversation, and they went off and left. And I was like,
Tangent.
I forgot you were that one. Like,
Yeah, now
Back up.
I know.
I'm good. Let me get my
Back up.
coffee and go back to my desk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you keep them crazy ass thoughts over there.
Right. Well, and I was telling y'all before, so the National Institute of Health, and I am going to go back and read this. We're going to have to come back to this. I just didn't have time. So the National Institute of Health says Republicans/conservatives are more likely to believe conspiracy theories than Democrats or liberals. So I am going to do my due diligence on reading this information, but it did come from the National Institute of Health. And if you notice what we're saying about conspiracy theories, on what side they're coming from, which is, I'm just inquisitive to why that is. You know, why is it more coming from the right than the left as far as conspiracy theories? Now, I have a theory. So we have Tucker Carlson. Everybody knows who good Tuck is on Fox News. So he's mainstream conspiracy theories to a mass audience, right? So I was going through all the theories that he's done. So he has derailed immigration, right? So we know immigration is a problem. I'm not saying that it's not. But just that, I'm sorry, all Mexican people are not rapists, and they're all not pushing drugs, and it's not all about fentanyl. White supremacy is a hoax. Hate speech is made up. You know, it's in all of our heads. Promote the Great Replacement conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So that's where
Jews will not replace
Jews will
us
not
and all
replace
that.
us. Where that came from.
Yeah.
2020 election, we can just go down a rabbit hole on that one. COVID vaccines are giving you COVID. January 6th, the insurrectionists, fictitious Ukrainian situations that we got there.
Are they really having a war?
Yeah,
over there? That's
right.
real.
This one I never heard of was the one that just came up about South Africans were engaging in a genocide against the white farmers in Africa. That's the newest one. So
He said that?
yeah. So, you know, Fox and Trump. But I was like, so how did he come so popular? You know, again, the power of influence. It is a thing, guys. You know, politicians, why do you like them? They have a lot of charisma. So that's why I think it got out of hand for Fox News,
Oh yeah.
Fox
Mhm.
News, because I said I watch, just to put it out there, and he'll tell you the truth. I watch CNN and I do watch
I watch
Fox.
Fox too.
I watch them both. Now, what I didn't watch, and when I did a little study on myself, I was like, what is it about CNN versus, Fox News? Well, Tucker Carlson, he's an opinionated show, but
Mhm.
he was the one generating all the money for Fox. But I think Fox lost its roots and was like, okay, we're no longer looking like we are a credible source. They were getting sued because
Yeah, they
it
lost
wasn't giving
$700
news.
million. They
Right.
lost,
They're
yeah.
like, I can't do this, Tucker. Like, I get it. These people that you are basically feeding the base to, whoever those people are, there's a lot of them too, because he was making money. He was the number one show, right, on Fox. But what makes it so enticing to watch? I tried to watch and I was like, this is BS. I cannot watch this. And I don't know, it's because my mental state, but I was like, do people really believe this,
Yeah,
Max?
they do.
And that's the crazy. I said, so what sets me apart from them and me? Like, why are we different?
Because you look at Fox News. Like they look at Fox News and that's it.
Right. Okay.
They look at
Because I was like,
Newsmax
what?
and that's it.
It's nuts. to me.
America's First and that's it. And with them being said and channeled the same thing, they don't believe nothing else.
So, like, it's brainwashing.
I'll be honest. My mom looks at MSNBC and that's it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
So not
And every
being,
now I'd be like, you
you need to
jump
turn channel.
somewhere else.
You got to turn channel.
Like
Yeah.
really.
Right.
At least CNN. And CNN's kind of middle of the road.
Right.
Even though a lot of right wingers just feel it's too leftist. But
Right.
the thing is it became where I want to hear what I want to hear, and I'm gonna turn it on that, and that's all.
Got it.
They're
Right.
saying what I believe, so I'm gonna go with that. Compared to people being able to hear
That challenge your thought.
well, hear what the truth is when it comes to
Right.
news report. Like this is what it is.
Right.
This is what I want to hear. And guess what? If you are talking about something negative, don't even play it on my station. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what was happening? Oh, the January 6th trials or whatever. Fox and them wasn't even airing it over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you don't even see that. Now, you're not even seeing what's really actually happening or what happened over there. You're just getting, so now you can go tell those people, that was just a protest. It was just out of hand. That was Black Lives Matter. Like, what are you talking about? You can look and see.
Yeah.
Right.
No Black Lives Matter. We all agree it was that one brother that was standing in the middle of the thing. We was wondering why he was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Questioning,
saying?
right.
And I'm pretty sure it's more black people there, but yet and
Right.
still, we saw, no matter what the reporters say, the reporters or who's reporting it, we got to see January 6th with our own eyes. I had COVID then. I was looking right at it 24/7, saw it for myself. Didn't need a reporter to tell me what's going on. I saw it.
Right.
Now some reporters backed up what I saw, but some people didn't see it, and then they turn on Fox News, and Fox News gives them their interpretation.
Right.
Right.
Now it becomes once again somebody who's directing the narrative, and now that's where it becomes like a political game. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm directing the narrative, and instead of telling them what they saw was a riot and an insurrection, now it's just a peaceful protest that got out of hand.
Yeah.
And people do believe that. You saw those comments. I'm going back and forth with this man. He's like, stop talking to him. But I just could not believe what he was telling me.
Yeah, like
he said it wasn't an insurrection. It wasn't. That's not what happened. It was what? What are you getting this information from, sir? What did you see? Because I saw the same. I don't understand. What did you see that I didn't see? And really arguing, questioning me. It's like I like questioning. I hit him with some information. He just asked me another question, diverts. And I was like, do you not want information? It always makes me wonder, like, do you just not interested in it?
Like they didn't see them run over the police and break windows. That's at least that you saw. Like, hey, the police told you to stop. You can't do that. You can't run over policemen and beat them in the head and take their equipment from them. You can't do that.
Right.
And you can't take objects and break windows and walk through them.
No.
Right.
That's at any building. Just to let you know, any building, but definitely not that one.
I had an argument and said, all right, well, if you think the insurrection is right, tell you what, go to the post office right now and break in and see what happens to you.
Thank you. I'm interested. I'm going to go watch.
That's federal crimes. That ain't no, they're going to lock you up in a federal prison. You know what I'm saying? For like 10 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And 10 years, you're going to do all them 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
what I'm hearing here from you guys is like the factors that cause the conspiracy theories to spread, and also like why people believe in them. So I'm going to touch on both of those real quick. So I think you talked about like opinion shows on Fox. like it's popular. They get the ratings. So if they're going to get the ratings, they're going to keep pushing it. And if they're pushing those things, then that causes those theories that Tucker Carlson is talking about to spread widely. Also, they use things like emotions and fear. So their conspiracies mostly are based around those things that get you to be like, oh, they're taking your vote from you. They're stealing your votes. They're not like it evokes emotion in those people and fear. So the more they can do that, the more that they will spread. Those theories will begin to be more popular. Like the one about I bet a lot of people didn't even hear about the damn space lasers, causing wildfires, because it's not really like nuts. Fear or emotion. It's just crazy, right? But at the same time, that's the second point. The psychology behind believing in it. Like people believe this stuff. And like you said, first reason is if you're only going to focus on certain types of websites or news programs or whatever, and you're going to stay laser focused on those things, you're going to only see that. So it helps in your mind. That's what you believe. That's what you think is real. That's all you think is happening out there. And you think everybody else who doesn't see it is blind. Then to your other point, January 6th, like you said, they didn't show the trial.
No.
Fox didn't, right? Yeah. Fox didn't intentionally.
When they suppress
information,
news and information from you, that's when you're starting to get into China and Russia type shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Because why would you want to watch something that is purposefully suppressing what you see so that you can't get information direct from the source? Because watching the trial, you're going to hear direct from the source, the people who were there, the people who are asking questions, the testimony, everything. So there is no filter. Tucker Carlson is not there to tell you what's right and wrong. So they're not going to allow you to see that, right? They have an agenda, right? So now I'm not just saying Fox does that. Any news company could do it if they want to, right? Because it's their station, they're going to show you what they want to show you. But you have to have awareness and psychology leads to some type of belief. And I don't know, I'm not going to say all Republicans believe all of that stuff, because they don't. I know plenty of Republican people who don't believe some of that stuff that they be talking about on Fox and on them crazy websites and about space lasers. But there's something in the psychology of a person who believes all of those conspiracies and just go and can be taken down that rabbit hole, and they're preying on those people. They're going to push their message out there. You embrace it or not. We're going to grab those people who have that type of psychology that we want them to have, because they still vote. I don't care how crazy they are or whatever you want to call them. I don't want to call these people crazy. I'm sorry. I do think y'all crazy. But at the end of the day, they're preying on people with a specific type of psychology, a brain makeup, that are going to easily be influenced and believe this stuff. And then secondly, they're spreading it by hitting your emotions and your fear and making you feel like, this is something that's going to happen to you. So believe in this. And I think that those are the reason why people believe in a lot of these conspiracy theories.
Oh, I agree. But I still don't understand, how are there so many people like that? That's why I'm concerned. Because I live in the world of education, and I want to say, where are you getting this information? How have we failed you in the education system? Because you should be a critical thinker if you have graduated, at least gone through high school. You don't have to go to college. I'm just saying, even in your elementary, your middle, your high school, you should come out right as being able to critically think at the end of the day. I don't believe that you just get all those skills from higher education. So I do not understand why there's such a high populace of people with this thought process or lack thereof.
Well, a lot of people don't understand politics. They don't understand politics, and they just go off of what they hear and what they go for. They don't know how politics works. They don't understand the basic format of what the Republican Party is going for, or the Democratic Party. So, with that being said, a lot of times it's people that are saying they're Republican and don't even understand what Republicans actually
stand for. Right.
Politically.
Right.
The things that you're complaining about is what they are. Like I'm saying, I'm complaining about big business. I don't like my boss and blah, blah, blah. And then you turn around and then you vote Republican. Well, you're
Voting at your best
that's what you're
interest.
voting for. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny. We know we're gonna jump into this, but it was like they were saying, "Hey, well, Trump's gonna go and to the where the union is and protest." Trump is on the side of the CEO. What are you talking about?
Yes.
He gave them breaks. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't understand why. Because the Republican Party, that's what they do. Like, of course, in an election year, they're gonna talk to you, the little man, because they know you got to vote. But at the end of the day, when
Right.
they say they're cutting taxes, that's who they're cutting taxes for. Your CEO. They're not cutting it for you.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people don't understand that basic foundation and format of politics, and they just go off of what they hear. And like you say, they're looking at Fox. Fox is saying what they want to hear. They're talking about the things that invoke their emotions.
Right.
It's just like it's funny when you talk about some of the far right stuff. What it started off, remember, it was like the Tea Party. Remember that was
Yeah,
out.
the Tea Party. Yeah, I got that one on here too.
The Tea Party
Party.
was out, and as they kind of, I mean, they were kind of like small fringe unit. You know, they were out there. They're a small fringe part of the political, deal. And you had the Tea Party candidates, and that was okay. Then they kind of grew, and they grew into white nationalists or whatever you want to call them now. But a lot of what they were talking about and people agreed upon, Fox and other politics and things of that nature, just inherited that and started talking that rhetoric. Even though the Republican Party doesn't represent what they're talking about or looking out for what they're doing.
Right.
That's why you never hear him talking about issues. You never hear him addressing issues. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because end of the day, they're pushing big business and they're pushing trickle down economics. It has nothing to do with the little man. But they are saying the things, and they're pushing the message of what they want to hear to get them to start voting for.
And if one more person tells me and tries to use this is, well, the Democratic Party started the KKK, and you guys, we live in 2023. Okay, so right now is what I want to speak upon. What is happening right now with both of these parties? Again, so do your research. Yes, historical background is very important. But you got to focus on what is happening currently in your life, like right at this moment. You did not live back in the 30s and the 20s. Okay,
I think both parties were represented in the KKK.
Both. That's what I'm saying. I was like, do you understand historically? Yes, I do. But I understand what's happening right now. So when I make my vote and I go inside, I'm looking at issues that currently impact me as of right now on that. But
yeah, I mean, we wouldn't vote for anybody. We was taking the KKK rhetoric with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
can't align myself with that.
Why is the KKK still around? Y'all got rid of everybody else. Like the Black Panthers, what they was in and out, or any
dismantled,
or whatever. But the KKK, 120 years strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? So don't give me that nonsense.
Yeah, we got a comment on here from Peter. Speaking of the corrupt politicians, he says, "Ace, my man. We have a saying here in the UK, don't tell my mom I'm a politician. She thinks I play the piano in a brothel." So, he said that sets the level of respect that politicians get all over the world, So at the end of the day, these conspiracy theories, it's part of the whole, it's a behavior that they're used to. I think when we talked about two things today, like so far, corruption and conspiracies. People that are willing to do corruption are probably willing to lie to your ass too and make you think that something is happening that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? And that's politicians. Unfortunately, people say politicians get a bad rap, but it's well deserved when we look at what they're doing, and they have a lot of power. They abuse their power, and unions have a lot of power too. So I want to talk a little bit about the powerful unions out there, especially the one that is running the whole nation right now. It seems like, from the United States. So the United Auto Workers Union is currently on strike against General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis. Now, the workers are trying to strike for better wages, benefits, and better working conditions. They're also demanding that the company invest in their plants and create new jobs in those plants. Now, Wanda, you're currently part of a union. So what are your thoughts about the current strike?
I wish educators had a stronger union. That's my thoughts. Just to touch base on what Texas is. So I can only speak from Texas perspective. So in Texas, we are a right to work state. What does that mean? you're basically not required to join a union for employment. So that sounds good, right? That sounds really, really good. But also the caveat is that historically you cannot, I'm telling you right now, cannot collective bargain. So what does that mean? So what the UAW, what they're able to do is strike. Well, guess what? Teachers ain't allowed to strike. Well, I'll take it back. You can strike, but there are very harsh consequences for striking or collective bargaining in Texas. So yes, you don't have to join a union, but what that also means is the caveat too is there's certain things you cannot do. Otherwise, you're going to have harsh consequences, such as again, teachers can lose their certification, TRS, which is your teacher retirement system money. So disciplinary action. So those go with it. Also in Texas, there's a low union membership because again, you don't have to join. And then some people are scared in order to do so. They don't want to have ramifications. That's why teachers have been working so hard about getting paid. And if you see that they haven't gotten paid, we do have unions. So we have like TSATA, AFTA, NEA. So those are the three major ones in Texas, but that's three different unions. You know what I'm saying? So how strong are they?
Ain't
You
nobody
know,
getting paid.
exactly. So if you see teachers still are sad and they still can't get paid, and that's through legislation. People arguing. And if you poll people, people do think teachers in education should be paid more. But look, have they been paid more? No, not by the state. Districts are giving money, and districts now are going into debt. And those are your major districts. So just so information on there. So when they're asking you for bonds and all that stuff, I'm telling you right now, districts don't have money. Who holds the purse is the state, who is your governor, which is Abbott.
And Ken Paxton.
And Ken Paxton. There you go. So
who's spending on his mistress.
So that's how I feel about unions. I think it's very empowering to see what they're doing. And I know people don't understand that. And they're like, well, they're not working and they're, and this is going to impact us as far as inflation. Yes, but people deserve to be able to survive. Their CEOs are making 281 times more than their employees. 281 times. They are billionaires. So don't tell me they can't afford to pay their employees an affordable wage. They work hard and they're going to see. And yes, it isn't going to impact them. The longer they strike, it's going to go into them profits, because Ford has profited 11 billion and they are set to profit 12 billion this year. I think they're okay to pay their employees, and I'm happy for them. That's profit. And that's less interest. So that's profit, not how much money they're going to make. Because you know how that works, right? You put your money in the bank and you get more money. So that's less profits. So I think in Texas, people don't understand the language of what a union is. People don't understand the facet of what it is to say, you know what, I don't want to have to join this. But I'm going to tell you, not having to join something, you see what the ramifications are. And this is where we're at now, still fighting. And that goes for police officers and any other service employee.
Yeah, I was in the union when I worked with Southwest Airlines, and I mean, the way I looked at it, they just took your money, and that's the negative part on the unions. Like I agree with the teachers unions and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But in our case, they didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and unions make money. We had to pay them union dues still, and they told us we had to pay, and we got hired there. But when it came to standing up for us and let's get more pay and all that, the way you used to say how they go play golf with the management and do whatever they want to. So wasn't in the Texas situation, not a big fan of unions unless they're going to really make things different for us. Now, it was not easy for them to let us go. It was some benefit to that, but outside of that, I didn't really.
You didn't see the benefits.
Didn't see the benefit of it, But in this case with the United Auto Workers, you talk about the CEOs. We had to bail out the car industry when the economy crashed.
How many times? Do you know how many times we bailed them out?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been numerous. It's not 1, 2, 3. Like look it up, guys. It's been numerous times.
Yeah. So when they turn around, and I know they're making about 20 billion in profit right now. That means that's their bottom line, man, and that's what they're making. So it's crazy that their workers have to go this far to get paid. And I know that I read this or heard this. that when Obama was in office, they actually went to the union and asked them to take a pay cut so the companies wouldn't go under.
Yeah.
They need to pay these people, man. You know what I'm saying? They making a lot of money. And then I heard one of the CEOs when they asked her, "Hey, well, you got a bonus and an increase, and your money has went up year after year." And she said, "Oh, that's all incentive based." Well, your incentive was based on the fact that the workers did what they needed to do
right
to get you paid. Like, pay these people. Now, here's the deal: when they went on strike, they only shut down 3 places, just to show them. But if they really shut everything down and get it going, it's going to throw the economy. Like, that's saying people don't understand. Yeah, because there's a lot of things that's based on us making cars that people work and do. Like, for instance, it's the people that are like gas. You can name it, like convenience stores, just whatever. When they throw that monkey wrench into there, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I heard that today they just closed down like the parts places as well. So that's like one of the most lucrative parts of the automakers is the auto parts for repairs and stuff like that.
Don't get in a wreck. Stop driving fast.
Yeah, that's what they said.
You ain't getting no parts.
People because when them parts start running out, it's gonna take longer to fix your car.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And like I said, that's why when you're not understanding politics on who's doing what, like, why is the CEO in such a position to where they made so much money to the point where the workers are mad? Well, how do you think that happened? You know what I'm
exactly
saying?
Over time,
they got pay cuts with a friendly administration, a friendly government that did that for them. And the workers that are striking, 9 times out of 10 voted for those politicians that put them in office. Not knowing they was voting against themselves. Like, you probably a union worker, thought you was gonna go out and vote Republican. Who you think gave your CEO them tax cuts and got them rich like that?
Trickle down economics, guys. How's that working out for you? Did it trickle? It's not trickling because we got people striking. I keep telling people that. I was like, so you think they're billionaires? You think they're giving you money?
Yeah,
that's how they become billionaires. Hello,
and they ain't putting it back into the economy. They saving it and doing whatever they doing with it or investing it somewhere else, but they're not putting it to your best interest.
Right.
So guess what, guys? Reagan started trickle down economics.
That don't work.
And it don't work.
Because we've been trickling for a long time.
It's been trickling, and the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. There's the stats out there. I'm pretty sure Wallanda knows it. You know what I'm saying?
Your middle class is shrinking, guys. And guess who helps pay for you? Your middle class. So when I disappear, we disappear. We're all going to be poor or filthy rich. That's what's going to happen. The middle is disappearing.
And that's how the French Revolution
came to power. Right. History is important.
Yeah, because you had real rich people and real poor people, and the poor people got tired of it.
Yeah.
Right. But poor people are putting themselves there. That's what I don't understand. I was like, you are doing it to yourself.
Understand your politics,
but when you are poor and you're part of a powerful union, then you have power. You got leverage.
Right. You got a voice.
And right now, like in the state, I guess Michigan, right, where when they like here in Texas, you said like it's right to work. So if no job can tell you that you have to. Right. I guess you said that yours told you had to, but usually they're not supposed to tell you.
They gave us a choice. But.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Leave or don't.
Right. No, but you don't have to join a union to have a job in Texas. Well, guess what? In Michigan,
you have to, right?
Like, if you're going to work here, you have to join a union. So now, okay, great. I'm paying this money. Now you're reaping the rewards. Now you're reaping the benefits of it because now you're like, okay, I may not be getting paid right now, but I'm going to get paid more based on what this union is doing for me. Now, one of the ladies who's working at one of the plants, I don't remember which one it was, she said that her mom worked there before her. Her mom worked there however many years, more than 20 years. She retired. Her mom retired in 2004. The lady works there today. She makes $3 an hour more than her mom made in 2004 when she retired.
Wow.
19 years, man.
Yeah.
$3 more? You telling me? Now, I don't know if they did the same job. I don't know whether her mom was a CEO or something. I don't know. But if the wages have not increased and they were working the same job, and 19 years later, you making $3 more than somebody who worked a 20-something year career there?
Yeah.
That's not right, man. No. And I don't care who you are. To your point, like, people got to know what's going on out there. Like, people, I didn't know that that was even possible. Like you could be in the same industry for 20 years and make $3 more than what you was making 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's
Think
teachers
about-
right now.
Think about the profit difference
Yeah.
that Ford has
Yeah.
from 2004 to 2023.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Probably exponential, probably crazy.
That's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, nuts. And it's all on borrowed money. Because once again,
Yep.
they had to be bailed out, big time bailed out.
Mhm.
They got a lot of money
But
Yeah.
then y'all
to
mad
the
at,
point that they
yeah.
had to take pay cuts. Like,
Yes.
come on, man.
Yeah, but then they're mad when they bail out, like going back to student loans and stuff. Okay, you bail out companies all the time.
All the time.
Bail out the little man. I'm sorry, your little $4,000. You can afford your little $4,000 student loan that they own. You know, like come on.
But guess how
you
they
know,
fight that? They go
They
to
fi- oh,
they go to the
lazy,
blue
they-
collar worker and say,
yeah.
well, hey, they ain't giving you no money. You didn't go to college. Why
Right.
you gonna vote for that?
Yeah.
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 You know what I'm saying?
So I don't know, man. I really want to kind of talk a little bit about like the power of the union. Like both of you just told me, like, hey, here in Texas, your unions didn't have power for nothing.
No.
But think about it. The power, and maybe I'm wrong. You guys are gonna have to correct me on this. I think about unions as the power being the people, the group of people that are a
Mhm.
part of this big union. That if everyone who's in the union says, F you, we're not doing this, that you're going to have to do something, negotiate with us to help improve our situation. So for teachers, I understand, and I think you touched on this a little bit about like, hey, if teachers strike, there's things that could happen to them. But if you got enough teachers strike, if you got like, let's say 50% of the people in the unions strike in Texas, that's going to hurt. The kids ain't going to be able to have no teachers. I mean, things are going to happen that are going to cause the state to say, man, okay, yeah, we could do something bad to them, but we got to get these teachers back in the classroom because people are like hurting.
Right.
Like,
Oh, definitely right now. With everything in the
can't
in the
you have
climate,
more? Can't the teachers have more power if they act?
if
Or
they
is there
acted
like
together.
whole union just powerless?
No, I mean we have you again. There are unions because I'm part of one, but again, I don't think they're as strong in numbers because we are in different factions. There's different unions here that teachers can be a part of. You know what I'm saying? So they're stronger together. If they would all combine together, then I definitely see something like that working. And again, Texas is very good at fear mongering. People are afraid. If you told me I'm losing my retirement that I've worked so hard for, that's scary. If you told me I'm gonna take my certification and I can't work anymore, that's a fear. That's a real fear, as far as you taking somebody's livelihood. So I think that's what it is. I think it's a lot of fear mongering that goes on as far as in teachers and servicemen and nurses and doctors, because they're all in the same position. They all feel the same way. But again, with Texas being it's a law. So I think we've been governed to act accordingly. We've been scared to do so.
That right to work state.
Yes,
you know what
that
I'm
right
saying?
to work. They
Just-
tell you all the time, right to work state.
yeah.
So
So it's just, yeah, man. Just, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, my opinion is the unions aren't good on a Texas standpoint, but with the UAW, it's awesome. I'm glad that those people are doing what they need to do to stand up and get their jobs, to keep their jobs and get paid right. It's just, it's funny and crazy to me that after everything we went through with the economy and everything, that you still got CEOs making lucrative amounts of money.
mhm.
You still got workers that aren't getting paid.
Right.
And I don't know about you, man, moving to, like you said, 19 years ago, everything that went up since then,
Oh, definitely.
except, you say minimum wage and people battle minimum wage and raising people's wages. Like they fight that tooth and nail,
Mhm.
but they living off of lucrative bonuses. Once again, it's the rich staying richer. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to give you that money. They're not going to get a bonus and say, hey, man, let me take 20% of this and let's let it trickle down to everybody else.
Mhm.
Who
No.
does that? They never did that. In the whole history of the world, there's no kings that looked at their treasure and said, let's give this to the peasants. No, they kept it in a room somewhere and gave it to their kids and their
Mhm.
kids'
Kids. And, they
Yeah.
And it's
keep
the same
going.
thing here. So, like, yeah, I mean, lovely thing that they're doing. And I think that's a beautiful power. Like you said, if all the teachers had stood up and said, hey, man, we're going to strike and we're going to do this.
Mhm.
And wasn't in fear of losing their job and losing their livelihood and their retirement.
Or even with that fear being present, because
Yeah.
the people, think about it, the United Auto Workers, these people ain't getting paid right now while they striking.
But
they have things happening to them. They're striking because they believe that their cause is true and valid. And now they are going to one day, who knows, get their job back. But to Peter's point, this is a good point here. Peter said in the UK, there was a union that was responsible for the total decimation of the mining industry in the 70s and 80s. So while they could be good, they can also be dangerous.
Right.
Same thing can happen with the UAW. What if they strike and Ford and GM and say, you know what? We're going to freaking Japan. We're going to Canada. We already got plants in these other places. We're just going to move all of our stuff. There's risk there too for these United Auto Workers. There's risk for anyone who strikes. So teachers could do it if they're willing to take the risk. They have to be willing to take the risk. But like you said, and like we talked about earlier with like conspiracy theories, it's emotion, fear. Like you said, there's fear behind it, but it's personal fear. Like I don't want somebody to take my retirement, but think, hey, if I align with a million other people and we all strike, are they really going to take all our retirement? No, they're not. No. They're going to find a way to work with us and give us our job back. Or like happened in the UK, they just get a bunch of damn charter schools and they say, you know, we done with public education. Right? I don't know. But there's risk no matter where you are. Like I said, the United Auto Workers have risk too. They could just move all their plants to Canada or Mexico, where they already have plants.
Doing that already.
But they've shown like UAW has been involved since 1935. So you got to think of the longevity of this union. You know what I mean? Like
very powerful.
They're powerful. 1935 to 2023, and they still real doing for their people. So I think in that, its longevity, it just shows a lot of strength. You know what I'm saying? So I think these union members feel very comfortable in doing what they're doing. Like, hey, they've been here. They've had my back from way, way long ago, before I was even born. So they're gonna, they're gonna follow through. We don't got a union like that right now. So
yeah,
I think there's some, you know what I mean? We just don't have that.
I'm thinking like, how long they've been striking right now? Anybody know?
Oh, it hasn't been that long. I mean,
about a little bit over a week.
Huh? Yeah, it's been a little.
Yeah, because at some point,
but at some time now,
your cupboard runs dry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right, your bills ain't paid. Right, if you willing to sit it out this long, like how long are they willing? Like, there's risk at every level. There's short-term risk and there's long-term risk as well. So.
And I just think,
I mean, with teachers, they have less risk there because they have contracts.
Yeah.
And I think like it's just a different mentality. Like when you're on the East Coast or Midwest, you belong to a union. That union is
strong,
just as powerful, and strong. So shoot, a lot of times those guys are just trying to get into the union. They get into the union, then they go get the job or whatever. So that down here we don't value unions because they don't carry any power. Like that,
they don't carry the power. And just think about wages. When you look at West Coast, East Coast, South, the East and the West make way more money than most Southerners, even in the same profession. Could be unions. I don't know. I have to do the research on that, but I could tell you this. And again, different cost of living and all that.
Unions too.
Right. Yep. But I think the unions do impact that because somebody in my profession, like I'll go and make 3 times what I make here as a principal. I'll go to New York and, you know what I'm saying, live it up, so it just, those unions, I've been trying to leave. Texas ain't for me. Texas ain't for me. But, you got to look at that. And again, like you said, unions just don't hold that power. And if they are taking people's money, like you said, that's a sad thing because there's so much corruption that happens, I think. But UAW it's been strong.
Well, I just don't know, like, for instance, in the case of Southwest Airlines and what I was doing, I was working in customer service. Like, if I'm paying you union fees all the time and you're doing nothing, you know what I'm saying? People still getting fired and, and wages aren't going up. And when we are negotiating, we're the last ones. And we see the mechanic strike and we see the flight attendant strike or having a battle, and it comes to us crumbs. And I always say this, during COVID was our time to probably strike because
should have been time. Right.
We were put on the front lines as customer service agents because, we were the ones, and you do nothing, then I can only say you're stealing from me because you're taking my money and you're doing nothing.
Teachers unions feel the same way. Yeah, I get you.
When I eventually left Southwest, and probably about a year or two later, they finally got their contract and their agreement after COVID was already through. So, and I assume everybody's good over there. I got a few people to stay there, but that's my view of unions. That's the first time I worked with union and understand. I was like, okay, but I know it ain't like that everywhere. But I think in Texas, that's kind of what it's been demented to. It's another way that they earn money off their workers. You know what I'm saying? And wherever that money goes, that's basically what it is. But it's not like up, like you say, up east where
it's real.
They putting them people over the barrel. And I mean, like I said, it's a real situation. Like, you know, like you say, your mom retired and you only making $3 more than she did after 19 years. And hell, 19 years ago, gas was $2.25 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we close to $4 now. I still making about the same money because $3 and hey, that ain't much.
Right. Well, so they'll say that unions cause the cost of living to rise. They're like, well, it's union's fault because now we got to pay the people. I'm like, these people, okay, even with the union, they're still making billions of dollars.
Yeah, you can't find that at 20 billion.
Yeah, I'm like, you still making money. Yeah, you still making okay. So now you're not making a 40 billion profit, and we didn't cut you down to 20 billion. But and you're still rich.
That's what kills me when they say profit.
Right.
Profit means after I pay all my bills and do everything.
I still have.
I paid everything already. So the lady was saying, we got to do this and that. Babe, y'all said profit. Y'all done paid for that already. This is what you got left over.
That's in my bank account. That's what I'm rolling.
Yeah, and you got so much left over that you'd have made 281% more than you did. Oh, that's all.
Okay.
Exactly.
Pay
that's
them
people.
Yes. I was like,
pay them people.
I'm trying to make sure and understand the math is just not mathing.
Yeah.
So they would be making even more probably if they didn't have a union because they would be able to be like Texas and do what you want. I'm gonna pay you this and keep it moving. You know, so
and people need to stop trying to undercut people. There's always somebody out there that, well, I'll work and I'll do that. No, get with this union and let's get it right.
I keep saying that.
Exactly. So, man, I love this conversation, man, about the unions thing because I mean it opens people's eyes. It helps them understand, like, because unions can be very powerful and a tool for good. They could also mess things up, like Peter said. And at the end of the day, they could also just steal your money. I mean, it depends on like the laws of the state. People don't know, like the laws of the state come into play. I do think in Texas, one good thing about unions is that they can help you if you're being fired for the wrong thing.
Yes,
that's probably the one thing that they could do. And if you paying it's kind of like insurance, right? I pay my insurance every month, but I didn't get in car crashes every month.
Yeah.
But when I do get in one, I'm glad I got insurance because now I can use you and you can fix my car. So that's the only benefit that I see from a union is that if you decide that, you know, if the company decides to fire you here in Texas anyway, if the company decides to fire you and it's not right, you can use a union to fight. They'll fight for you for that. But otherwise, like you said, it's like insurance. You're just paying your money and hoping, you know, that you get to use them one day.
But if you don't have it, right? But if you don't have it,
don't HR do that too?
No.
HR will get rid of you.
Yeah.
And the union steps in and says, "Hey, hold on, Brian. This ain't right. You can't fire this person."
Right.
Now, if it's something that you should be fired for, the union ain't gonna do nothing. They're gonna be like, "Bro, you stole $20."
That's a no-go.
But they'll
fight for you,
right? But if it's a wrongful termination in the eyes of the union, then they will step in and they will fight for you.
Yes.
Right. That's about it.
Good time lawyers. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So that's it, man. We're going to wrap it up for today's show. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us on Facebook Live and on YouTube live streams. You guys are killing it out there. Thank you for always tuning in and hanging out with us every Saturday. All of our listeners out there, Apple, Amazon, Google, iHeartRadio, I don't care what you want. Thank you for listening to us. Ace, you got any closing remarks for the people out there today in the podcast world?
No, I mean, I know, love the show today, man. I mean, and like I said, just, you know, educate yourself, vote, and pay attention, man. You know what I'm saying? That's about it.
Yep. Queen Walanda, anything you want to add?
Yeah, just vote, guys. You got to get out there, do your research, do your own. You have to just listen to us. You can actually, that word, Google it.
Or read. You know,
read,
for real.
Credible sources, though, please. Reliable and credibility.
Books and newspapers that you can just read and they get a lot of valuable information.
Yeah, and I also want to thank the Queen Tina for keeping me straight, always making sure that I'm on point, letting me know when the sound goes out, letting me know when the comments are on YouTube and Facebook and everything. Appreciate you, girl. You always on point with that. So, you know, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you again next week.